You've recently taken over David Brown's job, who was with Channel 7 doing the weather for 20 years,
Yep.
and which is an amazing job for you to take over. What was that time though? Because there was a lot of controversy around this, and I can't, it's so exciting, but then it was
horrific.
Yeah.
It was horrific, to be honest. I think for me, to go back, it had started a couple of months before. I'd been with Channel 9 for 7 years.
Right.
I believe I'm an incredibly loyal person. I had no desire to go anywhere else. I just had assumed that my contract was going to roll over, and that's what I'd been told. And I'd come off this huge high of the, London Olympics and being on the other side of the fence, and loved it and loved my team that I worked with. And then I came back from London and had a bit of a break and a holiday, and all of a sudden it was like, oh look, we don't have anything for you next year. And that came as a huge shock. It was incredibly scary for me, because all of a sudden, there wasn't the income might not be there, that I didn't know what was going to happen next, and I hadn't had any desire to go anywhere else, and all of a sudden I had to find that. So I was very lucky in the fact that Channel 7 were brilliant. They had a contract for me. I know. That would be Lester having a drink. He says, sorry, the attention's not on me.
Keep going, sorry.
And they were brilliant. They said, oh look, well, first and foremost, we don't know what we're going to do with you next year, but we need you to fill in for the weather over 6 weeks of Christmas, New Year, over summer. And I went, I don't know anything about the weather. I don't know, what do I do? I have no idea. And they said, don't worry, you'll be fine. Just, go and do the weather.
Right.
And so I went over and introduced myself to the Bureau of Meteorology and had a chat to them and had a brush up on my lessons from come on, high school, come back. I was paying attention. I know I was paying attention, highs and lows and troughs and ridges. And, so I had a couple of lessons and kind of got into it. But again, the amazing thing for me was live TV. Again, it was live TV. Things went wrong every day. And then I don't think anyone really realised it, and I still don't, to this day, don't really know why the decision was made. But, Brownie is a much loved and huge member of that news team. And all of a sudden there were rumours that he wasn't coming back, and people were asking me what's going on, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just doing it over summer. I don't know.
Which is an awkward position to be put in.
And on top of that, I'd never been in a newsroom before. I didn't understand how full on a newsroom can be, and that there's news stories coming in all the time that are horrific, but you don't really have a chance to take it in and empathise with anyone. It's like, how do we get this to the news as quickly as possible? How do we do it justice? How do we do this? So it was a really confusing time. I also still didn't really know what the future held. I knew that I'd, had a contract for 12 months, and then I was going to do the best job I could to prove to these people that they'd taken a chance on me and that I could fulfil that. But then, when they kind of asked me to do it full time, and I didn't really know how to play it, to be honest, because again, TV is really harsh, and I felt for Brownie, and I didn't know how to, it was out of my control and out of my hands, and it wasn't like I was putting my hand up and saying, I'll only work for you if I do this job.
Exactly, yeah.
But a lot of people took it that way, and a lot of people were quite, I think, harsh on the fact that, I was replacing a very much loved, well-respected and part of the furniture person. And here I am,
it would be a tough role to
my
take
credibility
over.
is in sport, not weather. And so it was really tough, and most nights I'd go home and bawl my eyes out, and my poor husband would just, he's so good for me because he's always positive. Like, everything happens for a reason. You've been given this opportunity for a reason.
Yeah.
And don't worry about everyone else. You can only do the best job that you can do, and again, have no regrets, and continue to show up every day, continue to give it a red hot crack, and if it all falls apart, then at least you know you've given it your best shot. So, and it was just awful. It was just, I really wanted to run away. I'd been given this opportunity, but I'd also inherited, if you like, all the other stuff, the
backlash and everything from it.
And you know, it was that whole thing of, you know, I wasn't a meteorologist, and I was the first person to put up my hand and say that. I wasn't pretending to be any different, but it was really, really tough. And you know, to be honest, it's probably only been in the last few weeks that I've felt comfortable in that job, and to say to people, look,
and that you do deserve it, and you're doing a good job at it.
Well,
you know,
I still don't. I stuff up all the time, and things go wrong all the time, and you know, but it's also, it's amazing for me that people do love their weather, and all I'm trying to do is give them that connection to it, and tell people what to wear tomorrow. You know, it's going to be raining, it's going to be sunny, and you know, I still get stopped, and people say to me, you know, some like to have a bit of a go and say, hey, you said it wasn't going to rain today, what's this? And it's like, well, it's lovely that you think that I'm God. But I actually can't predict the weather. I just forecast, you know, I just tell you what's happening.
With situations like that is people don't like change. You know, it's same in radio where my background is, or television. People they have routine of listening to same person and same routine. So when something's swapped up, without them knowing, it almost feels personal.
Completely.
But that's not your problem. You were grabbing an opportunity which you were totally entitled to, you know?
And it's difficult as well, because you pour your heart and soul out on radio, and you tell personal stories. And I think people also think that they know you intimately because they see your face or hear your voice.
Definitely.
On a daily basis. And for me, you know, it was almost like people, you know, there was even an article written that said, you know, all I've ever done in my life was swim up and down a black line. And I thought, wow, you know, people don't know me at all. Like at the end of the day, all I'm trying to do is do a job to pay my bills like everyone else.
But surely
I'm not pretending to do anything extraordinary. I'm just trying to, like everyone else, do the best job I can and pay my bills and support my family.
Yeah, but when the comments are so naive and ridiculous like that, you've got to get to a point where you pick and choose, don't you, what you take 100%. On.
Didn't read papers.
Good.
Had to hop off Twitter for a little bit, which Twitter can be such a positive forum. There's so many good people on Twitter. But that's the thing, I take everything personally, everything to heart.
It's hard not to though, isn't it? I'm the same.
Yep, it is. It's really hard because I think you like to think of yourself as a good person, and you like to think that, you know, I would want to go through life and never hurt anyone else, or never, you know, put anyone else down. So when it's coming back at you, you think, oh, well, I'd never do that to anyone. Why would anyone do that to me? And you don't even know me.
I know. But it's all, you can also be strong and have your say and stuff when you're not face to face. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I would read things and go, that person wouldn't, if they had 2 seconds to talk to me, they'd go, oh, okay, you're normal, you're fine.
Exactly.
And they would not write those in 120 characters, those vicious things. Like, grow up, you know? Get over it. It's annoying.
So, no, it's been difficult. It's been difficult. But I've had a really supportive team at Channel 7. You know, Peter Mitchell and Sandy Roberts are incredible, and you know, we have a bit of a joke and a laugh and all the rest of it, and I finally feel part of the family, and I feel that, you know, again, I stuff up all the time, but keep moving on. Next day is another day and another chance to do it right, and that's the challenge again.